If I was to purchase a brand new Cypress Grey Chevy ready to tow, this weekend warrior behind me is exactly where I would start. Why? Because it's got all the good stuff ready for a van on the back. It's got Starlink connectivity, and today we'll walk through what options we've done on this build and why you should get it. I'm Dean Bleasner, the co-founder of Big Dog Builds, with well over 750 trucks now through the workshop. We're the most awarded American truck workshop in the country, and its builds like this one here is the perfect stage one for your new Chevy 2500 platform. Ready to hit the beaches, ready to tow the van, ready to hit the boat ramp. This one here has got some goodies on it, and I'll show you from start to finish and why this one should be in your driveway. And no matter where your driveway is, we can help get your vehicle interstate into the Big Dog Builds workshop. We'll do a full build just like this one here. Fly in, pick it up, and if that's still too hard, we can help get your vehicle back home, get it delivered at your local dealership. And it's builds like this one, the Cypress Grey, they're becoming more and more popular through the workshop. This suspension wheel and tyre combo is one of the most practical out for those that aren't wanting to spend too much money. They're still wanting good brands, and the drivability from this package would not be any different to anything else that you see in any of our other videos. We've got the BDS 3-inch suspension kit. I've said it time and time again in different videos. We've tried a few different brands, or a lot of different brands over the years. This BDS Fox 2.5-inch suspension kit. This suspension can be set anywhere from 1.5 inch up to 3 inch in height in the front end, and that's because it's got independent torsion front end in the Chevys. Setting it around the 2.5 inch mark is its sweet spot, and for this customer, he's chosen a very smart wheel and tyre combo. A 295/70/18 Yokohama Geo16 on a KMC wheel, which is an 18x9 POS 20. This one here is a great fitment for a non-flared Chevy. I'll jump in the vehicle right now, I'll straighten the wheels up, and we'll see how it lines up to the factory guards. As you can see there, the tyre is fitting really nicely on the guards itself. Being a 295/70/18, it's not as wide as a 35/12.5, and it fits really, really nice in the guards there. No trimming required to the mud flap or the front bar. And for a non-flared wheel combo, this KMC, they've definitely nailed it. The black wheels, the Apex Designs RPV valves, so those ones there will deflate the tyres from 50 PSI down to 20 PSI a matter of seconds, and they definitely look the part. They've got the little lip on these wheels here which won't hold the water will come out of them, and they're a great looking wheel combo. With the suspension setup, like I said, the Fox 3-inch BDS kit has got the 2.5 reservoir adjustable shocks from Fox, and these 2.5 DSC shocks, some of the best in the market. We've had barely any warranty issues with these ones here. I believe one that I can think of off the top of my head. After hundreds of kits that are out on the road, these stats are pretty bloody good. And if you pull those shocks out every year or two, send them off to a shock shop, get them serviced like you would like a motorcycle shop, push bike shock, get your shock service, and they're going to stay in good condition for years to come. The sun's bloody bright here today. It is very, very hot, but that wheel and tyre combo up the back end as well. Obviously a 295/70/18 is going to fit in the spare wheel location really easily. And if you've got a canopy combo as well, obviously you can fit your spare under the back, put one on the rear of the canopy as well, run the two. But for this one, as a weekend warrior, you got your full-size spare, non-flared wheel and tyre fitment, which will save a little bit of money. But the flared fitment with a slightly wider stance is becoming very, very popular. This customer's also gone and chosen the XL side steps from Amp Research. Those ones there are going to offer a little bit of stone protection. The factory guards that come on this vehicle will stop some stones and mud and whatnot flicking up the side. If you aren't going to the flares with the kickback mud flaps, these things here aren't too bad. And the XL side steps are going to stop a little bit of rocks flicking up the side there as well. The added benefit with the XL side steps, you've got the LED lights underneath the vehicle, and those ones there are super easy to get on. They're about 120 mil lower than the factory side step on a stock height vehicle. So even though we have gone up that little bit in the suspension, a tiny bit of lift there in the tyre size being a little bit bigger than standard, the XL side steps make getting in and out of the vehicle super, super easy. Where this build really differs is up on the roof rack. We'll get into the solar panel and the Starlink combo up on there. So we'll spin around to this side, show you the UHF on the bonnet, and then talk about what's up on top. The side of the vehicle, as you can see, the Cypress Grey from GMSV, it's becoming very popular. I'd still say the whites, the black, the sterling grey, still a little bit more popular through the shed, but the Cypress Grey definitely looks amazing. And I would love to see someone do the satin PPF over this paintwork. I reckon that with a bronze wheel, if anyone's keen on that, put a comment below. reach out to the sales team and we'll get a combo sorted. The greens really pop in the sun, and at night time the vehicle looks really, really dark, almost black. It almost looks grey in some areas. It is called the Cypress Grey, but it's very, very green in the sunlight as well. And yeah, I reckon bronze on this colour. Whoever's first to do that, I reckon is going to have something pretty special. Oricom UHF bracket on the bonnet mount there. That one, when we pop the bonnet up, will still allow you to pop the bonnet the whole way. It's not going to hit the windscreen. The 640mm antenna on that one there. The beauty with Oricom is it's really easy to swap between two different channels. You can listen to channel 40, say you're here in Queensland on the highway channel, and you can also be on a convoy channel and still listening to the second one. One button to swap between those two different channels is super easy, and it was a Trip in a Van that put that on their one. I soon signed up because I was sold after that, and I think it's a pretty cool UHF that I'd be running in my vehicle. Now up on top is the second location that we can put your UHF antenna, whether you're wanting to run the Oricom smaller antenna bracket like this one here, or you're wanting to run the 1.2 meter whip. We can put that on a fold down antenna bracket up on the roof rack. This customer's opted to leave it down there. That means that you don't have to really think about it. You set it there, it's not the highest point on the vehicle, and you don't have to worry about hitting it on car parks or low hanging trees if you are traveling and you've got something really huge off the roof rack itself. Up on top of the Big Dog Builds accessory rack, this is our V1 combo, which has got the steady curve 50-inch light bar on the front. You've also got your MaxTrax pins up there. Now that's ready for 2 sets of MaxTrax Extreme recovery boards. And then we've got the Rhino rack shovel holders on the sides there. They hold a shovel on the sides. And then the Big Dog rack also has the steady side lights in the sides as well. Those ones there are all controlled through the Switch Pro SP9100 switching unit inside the vehicle, and you can change between white and amber on these lights by holding down on the side of the light themselves. But what's really special up on top is the Starlink as well as the solar. Now with the solar panel up on top, we've got a 200 watt red arc solar panel, and the Starlink is on the Big Dog Builds accessory rack with the Gorilla mount. The beauty with that one is you can buy the other Gorilla mounts for other vehicles. If you've got a boat, for example, you can easily take the Starlink Mini off the roof rack itself. You can put that onto the Gorilla mount, onto your boat, onto an excavator, onto your friend's car, or even take it portable in a backpack. Buy a little lithium jump pack that you can use to start the vehicle if it goes flat. You can also run Starlink Mini off that one there, which is pretty cool, straight from USB-C. From the USB-C, we also, speaking of powering that Starlink, what we do is we switch it through the Switch Pro, but we also run the Switch Pro unit into a voltage step-up unit, and that's a Victron unit, which is under the passenger seat. That then converts the voltage up to 30 volt, and that is optimal for running it up to the roof rack through a Deutsch plug, ready to switch that circuit on and off when the Starlink is up on the roof. So that one there is super simple. With the Switch Pro, you've got low voltage disconnect, so if you are running the Starlink off the factory batteries under bonnet, the solar panel will put in more charge typically on most days than the Starlink will draw, but you do have to be mindful at night time using the Starlink all night because the batteries under the bonnet in the Chevy aren't the best. That's where we set the low voltage disconnect to make sure that that unit will turn off and you can still start the vehicle. The solar panel up on top runs down through the back there as well. It's also got a little Victron MPPT solar controller, which is under the passenger seat. That will convert the voltage from the solar panel into the necessary voltage that goes into your batteries. A big solar panel like this one here can put up to 10 amps into the batteries at any point. Obviously, while you drive, your battery's under bonnet, you're getting charged. When you're sitting up, especially if you're using Starlink, the roof rack lights, for example, they can pull a bit of charge. The solar panel is going to keep these batteries in good condition and allow your weekends away not to be dampened if those batteries go flat. Now let's go to the back end of this one here. It's got quite a simple setup, but it's ready for a good weekend away. The back end of the Chevy, this is how I would set up my Cypress Grey rear model. It's got the tonneau cover that I love, but I'll get into that in a second. Underneath, we've got the 210 litre Titan OEM replacement fuel tank. That one there goes in the factory position, which then doesn't hinder spare wheel location at all. I get asked that question a fair bit, but that additional fuel capacity is in the factory location, so you're not going to have to worry about that. The suspension in the rear end also has the Fox 2.5 remote res adjustable shockies. Although it is up quite high to make those adjustments, I say play around with those ones when the kit's nice and new. Know where your different spots are and how you can feel a difference. For those that love getting in, tuning the shockies and really getting the best ride over different road surfaces, those ones in the back end there are getting great feedback. And then the rear end suspension's also got the airbag assist from the Boss triple bellow airbags. You can inflate, deflate those airbags from the back end of the vehicle, or you could opt to go up to the Air IQ. If you're doing a lot of towing and you want to adjust those airbags a fair bit, we can go for the Air IQ, which means you don't have to get out, inflate the airbags manually. You can do it from the comfort of inside the vehicle itself. For those ones there, nice and simple setup. The factory 12-pin plug from GMSV, and then we've got the Grey Anderson plug, which is 50 amp rated, run through an ignition relay under the bonnet, and a constant powered 30 amp Red Anderson plug in there as well. That Red Anderson plug, you could put more. That Red Anderson plug could get doubled up and you could put a regulated solar blanket on there. Having a solar panel mounted full-time on the roof rack, that one probably isn't needed. And this customer's gone for a nice and simple output for another Anderson plug inside the tub. But we'll show you how this tonneau cover works, and I'll explain how that one's wired up because we haven't done off-grid power under the back seat. So if I drop that tailgate again, the back X4S revolver tonneau cover. This one here is pretty much the one that I like on the back end. It's still nice and secure. I'll pop that tailgate up again. You can't get in there unless you drop the tailgate down. So it is quite solid still. You'd have to do some decent force to break into that one there. If someone decent did jump on top, it's not gonna be as strong as some of the other options out on the market, but still nice and secure. Keep your tools out of sight, keep everything out of harm's way. Simply pull that latch there, and this one's just gonna roll forward. Nice and quick. I actually like it more than the electric models because where that is up behind the window itself. You can simply keep that one open with these two little tags, lock that one into place, and that one's not going to go anywhere. And if you've got a motorbike or something like that, you want to put that front wheel up against the headboard itself. Most likely you're going to be able to do that with keeping the tonneau cover on. If not, you've got a couple little screws under here. You could take that whole tonneau cover off, leave it in the garage. That won't take too long to do. Installing this one here isn't a huge job. You still got to line up all the rails nicely. Simply lock that one in, pop in the other side, and then you're good to go. Oh, 1 second, I forgot. Roll that one open again. I've got a couple outlets in this one. So the team have done a couple flush mount outlets. That's 2 Grey Anderson plugs. These ones are actually through an ignition triggered relay from those batteries under bonnet. So while the vehicle's driving, these 2 Anderson plugs are going to be active. And if you've got something like a Red Arc Go Block or one of the other lithium battery packs that you can put in the tub itself, a Grey Anderson plug can act as a charger into that battery pack. It'll then run the fridge while the vehicle's off. And this is a nice cheap solution to do a power setup into the tray if you're not wanting to invest into the underseat battery setup. But soon we're going to have a few different options for different levels of those underseat battery setup. Whether you're just wanting to run a fridge, we've got 100 amp lithium going in under there with a massive amount of storage. Whether you're wanting something a little bit bigger, the 200 amp lithium pack with the 2000 watt inverter. We've also got a 310 amp lithium pack coming shortly as well. And that's going to run fridges, inverters, anything for a long period of time. And those battery boxes look bloody amazing. So stay tuned for those ones as well. Close that one up. And this one here, it's really, really making me love the Cypress Grey every time I see it. In the sunlight with the bronze. I want to see yours. So that's it guys, the Cypress Grey Weekend Warrior. Stay connected with the Starlink up on the roof. Keep those batteries nice and charged with the solar panel up on there. We've got lighting all around that roof rack. We've got some pretty cool accessories that you can throw in the tub. This one's a nice basic essentials kit with a few goodies. If you're keen on seeing more of these builds guys, check these 2 videos out to see a couple extra toughies. These 2 here, pretty cool as well.